Hey, what's up YouTube? This is the Mermail Master coming at you with the Team Time Riders YouTube channel with another deck profile of a deck that I'm also going to be selling. And this deck, if you haven't been able to see so far, is going to be a Heraldic Beasts deck. Heraldic Beasts are actually a deck that, a lot of people don't really consider, but like they have some surprising plays that a lot of people don't see coming. So putting the extra deck off to the side, let's get started with the deck profile. So the first card in the deck is going to be one copy of Heraldic Beast Aberconway. Aberconway sort of works with himself, basically fetching back any Aberconway in your graveyard and adding it back to your hand by banishing a copy of itself from the graveyard. So good way to replenish your hand. Then we got one copy of Heraldic Beast Burner's Falcon. And this guy, when he basically comes to the field, he can make all level 5 or higher monsters on your field level 4. So if you need to go for a level 4 Heraldic Synchro, Heraldic Beast Burner's Falcon is your guy. Next, we got 3 copies of Heraldic Beast Basilisk. After damage calculation, destroy any opponent's monster that battled with this card. Your opponent won't see it's coming. Next, we got 2 copies of Heraldic Beast Y'all. When you control 2 or more monsters with the name Heraldic Beast in them, you get to special summon this dude straight from your hand. Next, wouldn't be Heraldic Beasts without 2 copies of the Dark Zebra. And guess what? Dark Zebra is a pretty cool card. Where basically he's automatically placed in defense mode and he can attack forward. He's one of Kaiba's favorite monsters to summon. Next, we got 2 copies of Bullblader. Bullblader is a powerful warrior that really helps out those Heraldic Beasts. Because when Bullblader comes to the field, he's able to destroy one monster your opponent controls by attacking it. And your opponent can't respond and their monster just gets destroyed. Next is 2 copies of the Achacha Chanbara, which is one of Simply Unlucky's favorite monsters. During either player's turn, when a card or effect that activates would inflict damage to you, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, inflict 400 points of damage directly at your opponent. So if they activate the effect of Metaion the Time Lord, or some other thing like that, basically inflict even more damage to your opponent. And you'd be surprised what kind of things activate effect damage that you never see coming. So that's a cool guy to have in your arsenal. The next card I'm going to show you is one copy of 8 Magician. 8 Magician was one of Demock's cards, and one of the main cards he used to be able to summon the Z-Man, the Ape King. And 8 Magician's effect basically states that you can target one face-up, you can discard a card from your graveyard to target a defense position monster your opponent controls, and take control of it until the end phase, and it cannot change its battle position for that turn. So pretty cool card to clear your opponent's field if they're already on the defensive. Then we got 1 copy of Rai Rider, the Thunder Motorcyclist. He's one of Yuma's favorite monsters. And this was a perfect card for him to go up against Vetrix, who ran the Heraldic Beasts. Rai Rider's special ability, when he battles an opponent's monster, guess what? That monster cannot attack, ever. We got 1 copy of the Electromagnetic Bagworm. This was an old card, very old card that was recently released in Abyss Rising. And if this card, basically you can target one face-up monster, machine-type monster, and take control of it until your next end phase. So pretty cool card for those ABCs. You can trigger those cards off. And then the monster that destroys this card loses 500 attack. Grand Ram. When your opponent controls an XYZ monster, you just special summon this guy from your hand. You'd be surprised how many decks right now have XYZ monsters in them. So Grand Ram is definitely very useful card. one copy of Deep Sweeper. You may be thinking, oh, it's it's not a C deck, but Deep Sweeper, tribute him off and destroy a spell or trap card on your opponent controls. The Vengeful Shinobi. When this guy's attacked, you basically get to draw a card. Copy of Needle Soldier for inflicting that piercing damage to your opponent. One copy of Attack Gainer, the perfect tuner monster for getting your opponent where it hurts. Because when you do a synchro summon with this guy, your opponent's monster loses 1,000 attack until the end phase. Then finally Mogmole, one of Yuma's favorite cards, because when Mogmole is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, special summon him right back to the field in defense mode. You can only use this effect once per duel, but that's all you'll need it for. For the spell cards, now we got 3 copies of Advanced Heraldry Art. Activate this card, select 2 Herald monsters in your graveyard, and then immediately XYZ into any monster using those 2 monsters only. It's a fantastic, fantastic card, and you absolutely have to run it. Next is one of Yusei's favorite card, the Card Rotator. Switch the attack position and defense position of all monsters at the cost of ditching 1 to your graveyard. Constellar Belt. The activation of all light monsters' effects cannot be negated. 1 copy of Overlay Regen for boosting up the XYZ materials on really, really important XYZ monsters you control. Then we got At Traffic Control. If your opponent controls 3 or more monsters, they cannot declare an attack. Pretty cool card right there. And then finally, for our spell cards to end it off, we got 1 copy of Harmonic Waves. Target 1 face-up monster you control. Its level becomes 4 until the end phase. So it kind of works like that Burner's Falcon for getting those monsters to level 4. Now moving on to these trap cards right here. We got 2 Heraldry Change. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, special summon a Heraldic Beast from your hand, and then end the battle phase. Pretty cool card, and you can just overlay next turn. 1 copy of Revival Gift, one of the Leverett's favorite cards for loading up their opponent's field with Ojama tokens and then doing Gift Fiend tokens and reviving a tuner monster from your graveyard in the process. Power Sink Stone, if that was the Leverett's favorite card, this is Noah Green's favorite card. Anytime more than 2 effects are activated, you get to activate this card to basically negate all other monster effects until the end of the turn. So he used to use this with his Beatrice Burning Abyss to basically ditch Beatrice and then play Farfa, activate Farfa effect, and negate all other monsters his opponent used until the end of the turn. Because Power Sink Stone tokens get removed. But it was a very, very good card and shot this thing up to like $4 or $5 for a long time. And finally, we got 1 Depth Amulet. A lot of people have forgotten about this card, but this is a card that I used way back in my olden days of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Pretty cool card right here. Depth Amulet, discard 1 card from your hand to negate an attack that your opponent launches against you. That's it for the main deck. Now for the extra deck, we of course have 1 copy of number 8, Heraldic King Genome Heritage, who gets to mimic all the effects of my opponent's monsters. And this is a pretty cool card. You mimic an Arc, you mimic a Castel, you mimic anything, and you can activate that effect as if it was your own. So your opponent's XYZ monsters suddenly become your way to win. So that was pretty much it for my Heraldic Beast deck. If you liked it, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. The deck's also going to be for sale as well. If you want to purchase it, leave a comment down below or send us a private message, and we'd be happy to discuss pricing and whatnot. So yeah, this has been a deck profile of Heraldic Beasts, and I hope you enjoyed it. This has been the Mermail Master with the Team Time Riders YouTube channel, and I'm signing out. See you guys next time.